I actually got hosted by Symphony. My stream was going crazy. I was actually, while I was playing, like my fifth game, I started crying because I almost knew I was qualified. So that was probably one of the best moments in my life ever. I don't know what to say.
It's got to be exhilarating, honestly, to know that, especially in Europe, which we've talked about as one of the most difficult regions to qualify. Even with 8 positions, there's so much pressure there. But actually, I got to ask you a kind of random question. I keep seeing the lighting change on your face. What are you watching right now?
I'm actually watching the Fortnite stream.
You see yourself. There's layers here. There's layers. It's very Inception level. Well, thank you so much, Andretta, for joining us. Before we let you go, though, if you could do me a favor, please shout out your own channels, shout out your duo's channels, anybody you want to.
Okay. So my Twitch is Andretta. My Twitter is Cypher Andretta. My YouTube is Andretta. And I want to shout out Shoko, Shoko11, and all the people in that Discord. And I want to shout out my stream. Thank you so much for the support.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for an incredible performance both yesterday and today. Congratulations. $10,000, a spot in New York City, and as Golden Boy would say, you have to get a slice of pizza. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely incredible. It's crazy to think just the age ranges too. Even kids that are so young, all the way up to I believe the oldest
ass to be able to get himself to safety. He's already hit top 15, so everything's okay. We're still in the running here. But, you know, there's a lot of big names in the Brazil region. All the W7M boys. You see the red teams, right? You know, Snow, just to name one. You know, their ex-owned team. So many talented players. Also from red, man, there's so many players here. There's Rock goes and tries to challenge for the launch pad, doesn't get it, and says, King, I'm gonna go Oh, yeah. That's a weird place to be, man. You can't build on that thing. Yeah, you got to be careful. You have to build over it. Up and over it. A shot into the score. Venezuela picks up 2 tables well. Rita, Rita. 2 eliminations in. Oh, that was just one for him. He almost had it. But credit still to be had here. He is turning up right now. I can't pronounce that the way Zeke did there. Bakata Frita is going in right now. He's looking for this high ground. You see the technical builds too, using the cone, like hopping out around, using that way to catch yourself to kind of save a build there. All right, Bakata Frita. I'm about it. 92 and a follow-up. That is Lorax. He got the mats. That's what's important here. He does have the materials to hold on now. The high ground is his. Can he stick it out though? Yes, players are dropping right now. We're in top 6 suddenly. So all these placements being divvied out. If one more person goes down, and just a little bit more is going to be rewarded to him here. And you see the shot there. This is really good for him, right? Making the decision to go high ground. Look at this. He's putting him in the top 5. He did this weird top 25 when he kind of tuned into him right around there. And because of his decision making, he's got himself all the placement points to victory out the next threshold. And look, Austin, he's just looking to close this out.
That's right.
And I love it because he's just technically holding his high ground, but he is out of mats now. So this is where you have to go down. He uses the cone right there to sit on that end. He just has to give the high ground to a beer here. I believe that is Avalar. Yeah, Avalar, yes. I think so. Someone can correct me at some point. He's going to go to the toe of that player, though. And that is it. Good day, sir. Did he get mats like that? He didn't, Zeke. He's got the flint knock, though. He's got it. He's got it right there. One more shot to Wonder Deer. Wonder Urban is going to go down. Is he going to go down? Yes, he is. Frita connects in the final moments right there. Walks away with a 6th elimination victory round. Man, 16-point game coming out of the Brazil region. You like to see it. You know we've had so much fun hanging out with you, but for now, let's get back in the studio and see what Dr. goes back.
Thank you, Zeke. Thank you, Master D Face, you legends. I know a lot of people are wondering, and yes, we're going to look at it here in a second, because the tension in Brazil is high. South America putting on an excellent show, and we want to see where the standings are. So I'm going to take a little stroll on over. We're going to look at the board and see exactly where everybody is lining up right now. And here you go, top to bottom. The 51 points, 4 games played, and 2 victory royales, but it's still in the king, 45, just 6 points behind, and only 3 games played. You see the spread here, not too far away from each other. Multiple players from previous qualifying weeks
going on, Fortnite fam? We're here for week number 8, and you know it's time to go meet up with the casters, so let's...
So much for your intro, Zeke.
Spooky, no! It's time for weekend!
I'm Golden Boy, one of your hosts, and we're gonna jump right in.
I am so excited to be casting these games today. We are back.
All right, so we're getting ready. It's been a really great day so far. There's a lot to get through. We want to talk to... What?
I have to show you something.
Okay, all right.
I found a slipstream.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Squints!
Yeah?
So you're the in-game producer.
Yep.
But is there more we need to know about in-game observing?
I believe so, and you should go talk to Andy about that, Zeke.
Hey, what's up guys? My name's Andy. I'm the in-game director for the Fortnite World Cup qualifiers. So whenever we get into game, I take over from Joe, our broadcast director, and start cutting between all of our observers. I work with a team of 2 observers as well as a game producer, Squints, and the observer director in order to try and cut the best show possible. So basically all of our observers are getting the best content during these games, and I'm sort of the one who's deciding which one goes live on air. None of this is possible by myself. So I got a lot of help from my game producer as well as my observer director.
Hey guys, I'm Jeff Rose. I am the observer director, so I work with every observer individually, make sure they get the greatest shots, the greatest stories, so that when we go to Andy and he goes and cuts the show, he makes sure that you guys are seeing the best quality content that you can.
Check out the next block of NA West. Let's see what we have in store.
Aiden had some great plays. If he is able to carry the momentum over into this one.
Are you guys curious to see how audio works for the broadcast? Let's go meet up with John.
Hi, I'm John. I'm the audio mixer, or A1, on Fortnite. Welcome, Fortnite fam, to the audio booth. This is the audio board. All the audio that you hear goes through my hands. This is all of our wireless microphones for all of our talent. And then right here are all of our in-ear monitors, or IFDs, so that I can talk to talent. Like, usually it's something like, hey, Zeke, turn on your mic. And then they turn on their mics. I think Zeke should have heard that right now. Did you hear that? Nice. Also, I have a window.
We're all done. Yay.
Day 1's done!
What are you talking about? World Cup finals over, guys, okay? I won everything.
Guys, I just want to let you know, my favorite person in the world is in this room.
Wow.
Which one do you think it is?
It's not me.
I'm happy to tell you.
It's not me.
It's actually Kitty Plays! Boom! Right there! You know, it's not easy making this look good. Let's go meet up with Monique, the makeup artist, to see how she gets all this done.
No, I don't like that guy, Zeke. He's such a... Oh, hey! Hi, I'm Mo. I'm the makeup artist. I'm the one that makes these nerds look beautiful. Oh, Zeke. Sorry, let me just reel.
There's 2 people that don't get nearly enough love. They are the people who operate the cameras, and I'm going to introduce you to them right now.
That's Allison! That's Mahoney! That's Mo!
Hi!
Touched on right there is when he gets knocked out with that RPG, instantly rips. Oh my goodness, that was
North, you know, setting up their cottage, setting up their homes.
take 3, take 5, take 4, and 1 minute game!
Ready off 5, ready off 6, take off 6!
Keep on 1!
Ready off 3, take off 3, ready off 10, take off 10! Take off 5, ready off 6, take off 6!
And cut. Keep up the good work.
Are we gonna do a Fortnite? Wait, come on! Let's do a pookie! Let's do a pookie on 3! 1, 2, 3! Pookie!
We have a post-show pinata.
Get it right now, Zeke! I'm... Hit Zeke in the face!
We've seen 8 weeks of amazing Fortnite Battle Royale action. Players from all around the globe have battled it out, and some have been able to already book their ticket to New York City to compete in the Fortnite World Cup final in front of thousands of live fans. $8 million has already been given away, and now we're coming down to the wire. Week 9 is the final opportunity for competitors to try and qualify for the solos competition. Who will join the likes of Dubs, Stompy, Tfue, and X2 Jordan on the stage in New York City? Who will be able to clutch up in their final moments, in their last fights, to earn one of the final 19 spots? And with the last 2 weeks on the horizon, we are increasing the weekly prize pool to $2 million. So, get on the battle bus and drop in. This is your last chance to name yourself among the best of the best and to build your way to a spot at the Fortnite World Cup final. What are you waiting for? The battle is building and you don't want to miss out.
What is going on, Fortnite fam? Welcome back to week 9 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers. It's week 9, the final opportunity for these players to punch a ticket for the solo competition. This is it. It all comes down to the wire. Now, of course, guys, in case you have just been tuned in, maybe you haven't been here, maybe it's your first time, let's get you guys up to speed. And of course, refresh your memory. You know how the schedule goes. Oceania, Asia, Europe have all concluded. Brazil's still going on, still wrapping up. And of course, now we're hopping into NA East, and then later on, we'll wrap the day up with NA West. Now, the format, because it is solos, top 25, top 15, top 5, and the Victory Royale are all the placement thresholds. Every single elimination is 1 point. Now, don't forget, guys, the prize pool for week 9 and week 10 have been doubled. Money is fantastic, but those coveted qualifying spots, that's what these players are after. 8 in Europe, 6 in NA East, 2 in West, 1 in Asia, Brazil, and Oceania. Now that we're hopping into East, there is 6 total spots on the line for these players. Again, it is the last possible opportunity for these players to punch their tickets to the finals in New York City. 19 players will be joining us when the day is said and done. Now, of course, we're hanging out with Sundown. Let's take a look at the standings heading into NA East. I'm curious to see how things are shaking out for these players, especially after yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible round of matches so far. We've seen our finals and our semifinals be incredibly close from top to bottom. Again, in Europe, 15 points separating.
Hours popped off yesterday. I said I was rooting for Mongrel in the EU. He did it. I'm rooting for 72 hours now in the US. Let's get into the games.
I was talking earlier about that exact thing, that exact person.
pump when it was in the game. Can definitely get a little bit more done with it here in the late game, but now Showbeans on the run, not popping a Shadow Bomb as of yet, was maybe hoping to hit that launch pad, but looks like
quite
struggling to get some builds in here.
Building, honestly, probably one of the most important pieces of Fortnite Battle Royale. It is the ultimate Battle Royale experience, Jack, as they say. Make a movement here, landing inside the same box. KGG gets the GG back to the lobby. Showbeans picking up a second elim, a lot of materials, and enough ammunition for multiple magazines. Finds another player inside. Quick edit, but decides to back out of that. Just kidding. The drop back in down to 38 HP. Took a lot of damage right there, trying to wall off from pressure from multiple sides. A tough position. Gonna have to rotate away right now. One of those shadow bombs may be the right call if more pressure comes in. It's Bucky. Cam Bam down below. Void. Shy Guy, Maximus, Frey. Slothy plays multiple players on your screen right now. And that's going to be the case pretty much throughout all of these games, especially in NA East. We mentioned earlier, I was with Sundown, we talked about Europe and how aggressive they seem to play in comparison to other regions. NA East a little slower as of recently in solos, especially with this being the final week of qualifiers for solos for the World Cup.
My
that
gosh.
Is more splodes. It is, the legend has it to this day, they're still going off. Slothy burning through all the materials.
How is Slothy alive right now?
Didn't take a single point of damage.
Didn't take a single point of damage. Typically when that happens, the entire lobby begins to focus and then returns the favor onto Erupt Void with the combat shot there. Slothy, of all the outcomes right there, Dr. Lupo, that has to be the absolute best considering the circumstance.
Imagine having 15 dynamite thrown at you, not taking a single point, and then quickly one-tapping a player on the rotation after you rebuild. Now look at this. Slothy sees a player through the transparency of the metal wall going up. That's the storm side too, so there's a chance maybe to wait. Doesn't decide to do it. Jumps out there into the rift to go. Yet that other player may follow through behind. We're at 36, 35 players remaining. Coder goes down to the storm. Kingman's picking up J-Mac in the feed as well. Sharp on your screen. Multiple players and ballers.
Remember, if you're on the ground right now, you're slipping and sliding around.
Not a fun position to be in. You have TJ, Baldy, multiple players, well-known names we've seen multiple times in the past. But you have to remember, too, that this is just the beginning of Sunday qualifiers, so everybody's kind of queued into the same pool, but as people start to push higher and higher in points, you're going to see the lobbies get more and more difficult as we go closer to the
stand out for sure.
Yep.
Here's a look at Bugabot currently in the bottom of this build. Dynamite coming into play, recognizing, well, I've got to make something happen. Ooh, and there's a free limb on a Maximus. Now at 8 total points. Remember, top 25 is where placement points begin to come into play. Bugabot so darn close. Ooh, builds all the way into the zone, takes a couple ticks of damage, but nothing too bad, has a med kit. And I don't mind this at all right here, Lupo. I like the fact that he's going to wind up popping this med kit and, actually stops to go and fight someone nearby, because there's really not going to be another time to be able to pop this med kit when this all goes down. Bugabot hits the community rift and will begin to float towards this zone. So look at the rest of the carnage going down. We've reached our top 20.
12 builds there, floating in from above. Talk about not sitting on a whole lot of small ammunition for that tactical AR. Baldy goes down to the storm. Bucky picking up Saw on the feed. Another elimination there for Bucky. Fly on pass doesn't have an opportunity to compete for high ground. Gonna land on the ultimate low down on the floor down here, trying to get as close to the edge of the front of the storm as possible. You don't want to spend too much time trying to make your way in, especially with only 2 builds now. 1 brick, 1 metal. Gonna have to try and apply pressure, and there goes the rest of the materials. Bugabot now, the fight for his life on the ground, drops in a player immediately next to him. 2 combat shotgun shots back to back there.
But that player also had no materials. Okay,
a little bit of wood.
There we go. That'll definitely help. Bugabot making the most of a bad situation with another elimination, now into the top 10. And still, with 13 builds left, can try to make something happen. Here's a look from the top down of exactly where everyone stacks up. Frey on height, but Frey also very, very weak. Looking to get maybe some siphon coming up here. Bugabot pushes out, decides, nope, I can't pick up that rocket right now. I've got to focus on this enemy that's nearby. Back up to 26 builds now. Bugabot in the top 5. So max placement points earned outside of winning the darn game. So definitely a solid performance up to this point. Haz with 2 from up top. There's a challenge coming out, and that is Haz, who gets cut down by Bugabot. 1 versus 1, and Frey just fell to his death because he had like 45 HP.
Eliminated by fall damage there.
That's that.
Plummeting down, and kind of a anticlimactic win there. I mean, still, it's a victory royale. That's 10 points right there, plus the elimination, so you got to feel good. But didn't really have to compete for the last one outside of Has falling in on top of his head there. Meanwhile, the next game over, 39 players remaining. We are in the southwest corner of the map. Going to slide on in here. A fly in from the outside is Slacky Marevs. NA East, by the way, has just under 2 hours left to play. We're a little over a third of the way through their queue time. You have to get 10 games in. You can get 10 games in, I should say. A lot of players, even ones that make it to the top 10, top 5, even first place, don't often finish all their games. There's no need to if you're getting wins and high elimination counts every single time you play for placement, that kind of thing. So you have an hour and 50 minutes left.
I think he's just staring at this guy, just sitting in this box, wanting to just go for it. There it is. Oh!
The shot in the air?
No, tried to make it happen. Tried to make it happen, but unfortunately can't. But either way, Marevs had the right idea. If that player doesn't have a rift, obviously that's a different story. Looks like wants to keep the pressure going, and I don't mind this at all. You know how weak this person is.
Have to.
You have to go for this. Again, we talked so much about it. If you want to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup Finals, you will not get away with just placement points. You need eliminations if you're going to do it. He gets right inside the box, and that was exactly who tried to break on out, tried to escape, but unfortunately met their demise right there inside the 1x1.
Slacky actually tried to do one of the coolest little gimmicks you can do. If you are above an opponent that has a pyramid on top of the 1x1 that they're in, you stand in the corner of it and build 2 of your own walls against that corner and then just pickaxe straight down, because your character, the character model, will drop in there and you'll phase through. If they instantly replace it, you'll phase through and fall into their box. You can keep the aggression going.
They call him Dr. Lupo for a reason right there.
Listen, I've watched enough. Let me just say this. I'll admit this openly. I have before. I'll say it again. I'm not the best player, Jack.
We know.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, there's a reason you're standing by my side right now, by the way. In comparison, we're trash. But we've watched enough and can understand the mechanics behind the game.
Absolutely.
That at this level, things like that, they stand out so much, and it's that kind of gameplay. You know, there's a reason I'm hiding behind the desk, like I said.
Hey, man, it makes sense. It's great to, you know, be here casting with you, and also have full peace of mind knowing that I have more skill in me than both you and your Pro-Am partner, Jordan Fisher, have in your entire bodies combined.
Best FortniteDuoEver.com.
And myself and Brendan Urie, when we win next week, are going to sing and dance on stage. And then we're going to have $1 million go to our charity of choice. So, tickets are actually available for the summer block party and the Pro-Am if you'd like to come take part and watch me take over. You can go to Fortnite Summer Block Party, Google, and find the link to it, because I don't know it off the top of my head. How about that for a plug?
A valid attempt there, but a little bit of a miss, just like most of your gameplay. Meanwhile, Tom, 72 hours here, 3 eliminations now. Pops the slurp to prevent anybody else at that point from using it, and picks up a mini. So I'm a little curious why he picked up 1 mini over keeping the slurp.
Sometimes in these late game moments, some panic can set in. You might not realize, you might not be able to get the chance. You might think, oh, that's 6 minis, right? And it's only 1. So right now, 72 hours, just trying to stay alive. Played out of his mind yesterday. A fantastic day, but as we know, Saturday doesn't always transfer over to Sunday. 72 hours spraying with this infantry rifle close range. Oh, doesn't get that a limb. Does stay in the zone, doesn't get that a limb either. There you go.
Found one.
Okay, they do drop, but he kind of tunnel visioned here, Lupo. He kind of tunnel visioned here,
Way
Lupo.
outside in the storm, pushing his way in. Is he going to make it or not? We'll have to see. Just barely 10 HP remaining. The Shadow Bomb to continue pushing on through to the opposite side of the safe zone. Almost lost it there. 90 HP to the zone is not ideal. Wishes he had that slurp, I'm sure, at this point, hoping he can find some way to get this back. Frantically building his way to the top, trying to build up inside the safe zone, stay at the forefront of the storm. 12 players left. We're very close.
Yep.
Got to make it to the top 5 to pick up the last 2 points before the victory royale is the only way for placement to matter anymore. Player directly above him. J Storm Painful looking down. Maybe an opportunity for Tom. He's going to see it. Releases the edit wall and builds forward. Doesn't want to engage just yet. A little bit of fall in there. No fall damage.
I thought that was going to be it right there.
Very close. 8 players left. J-Storm picking up another elim.
Oh.
Threats finds him inside a box. 72 hours goes down just outside the top 5.
And if you're threats right there, it's an easy decision. You see someone inside trying to chug a big shield in time. You've got a heavy sniper. You know the player's got to be weak. That is a no-brainer type shot. Nicely recognized by threats. You see it on the left side of your screen. Actually does get eliminated right there. So did make it right on the edge of top 5. Not sure if they wound up earning those other placement points. And it looks like he'd wind up. He did. So we are now in our top 3, though. Top right of your screen, Rocardini. Bottom right, Beggs. And then you see on the low ground, Slacky Marevs too, who's very, very weak. The stink is brilliant from up top. Stinks this late in the game are just so deadly. Marev's gonna drop to that. He smelt it and dealt it. Another stink comes in. Beggs getting chunked by this now. Even more stink still in the inventory. Oh, this is just beautiful. Rocardini recognizing that it's best to hold on to those to the extreme late game, and now basically has a free win right in front of themselves with this one. Yeah, that doesn't get much easier. Well-placed stinks, and the patience to hold on to them, Dr. Lupo, pays off in dividends.
You see an opportunity late game like that, players fighting it out below you, no reason to not just drop that guy on in there and see if you can deal it while they're forced to smell it, Jack. You hate to see that. Eliminations like that, I mean, sorry, name on the screen threw me off for a second. See if you spot it at some point. 43 players left. Anyway, eliminations like that, you got to feel good about it too, because it's almost low effort because you have players that you're not putting yourself in line of sight. You're just dropping the zone damage down below. Yep. Letting them fight it out inside. NA East with 1 hour and 44 minutes left.
As you saw, one of the most incredible gamers out there, Yogurt Fart, in this lobby.
I think we're 14, Jack. I think honestly, sometimes our maturity level shows.
Like for real. Like, can
Epic,
we just address this for a second?
From the bottom of my heart, Epic, please.
This is nothing to do. Epic,
I'm sorry.
This needs to be discussed. How do you decide your name's gonna be Yogurt Fart? Like where does it come in? Don't you want to everyone else out there is TTV? They want to get their clout up, and then I'm just like, hey, yeah, add my Epic. My name's Yogurt Fart.
I think we've lost Jack, everybody. My deepest apologies. Fernando beaming Yeti out of the sky in the rotation in. Second elimination. 19 points total. Down below, Yogurt Fart still crawling around underneath. Jack trying his hardest to hold it together.
Yo play or Dannon?
Jack?
It's right now, Fernando is keeping the high ground at the moment. Trying to make sure no one can push towards this backside of the zone.
Production not helping with this joke at all in the slightest. Confirmed that it's Danimals in our ears. Jack still trying his hardest.
We're good.
Sincerely, my deepest apologies.
DMO. I actually saw an interview with DMO as.
Come on.
It's right now. Fortunately, he used that hashtag. Fortnite World Cup, and send us interesting names you've seen.
Yes, please.
That you've faced.
Got to get screenshots of them if possible. Got to have proof.
Got to have proof, please.
Screenshotter didn't happen.
Fernando's still up top, just sitting pretty, and it doesn't get much easier than that. Garrido does get cut down. Fernando, launch pad, 4 shadow bombs. Realistically, weapon-wise, really hoping this legendary assault rifle can pull him through, because
listen,
only other thing he has is a common tactical shotgun.
I've said it before, Jack, I'll say it again. The gray tac is the best weapon in the game.
Okay.
Prove me wrong. You can't.
Okay. I'll let you say that.
It's never been proved.
That was Dr. Lupo who said it, read it, not me.
Smile.
Just to be clear.
You really gotta point those at me, Jack?
Point that finger.
Reddit, you look wonderful today. Please be gentle. Saw in the feed, picking up another elimination. So you got us bad, not necessarily the worst. Picking up an elim, we're down to the top 30. Fernando getting Sir Wings on rotation. So you got another elimination. 29 remaining this shadow bomb to push all the way forward. These players trying their hardest to earn a spot in those 6 positions for NA East.
Only 6 spots, remember, of these 3,000 players, only 6 will make it. Fernando using that tactical shotgun, does get one. Is there a combat on the ground anywhere? Just an upgraded tack. I think that's what they'll have to settle with. Pressure now moving forward. You see Bugga on your screen. Ball giving Bugga a major praise the other day as Fernando fortunately keeps clipping the edge of that build. Not able to make it into zone without taking a couple ticks. Does have a campfire though, but it's a double-edged sword using a campfire this late in the game, Dr. Lupo. It's like a, hey, I'm weak, come attack.
This is the box to shoot at, please.
Yes.
I encourage it. But on top of that, you're also going to be missing HP, in this case shield as well. Pick up on the elim there, and the Storm's going to keep pushing Fernando for a second.
Gets both
Has the time. No damage either from the Storm.
And that's great composure right there, because to be honest, I was thinking it wasn't going to happen. As Go CMO actually goes down in your engagement feed, we're in our top 7 right now. Opportunity to break on through. Bugga on your screen, KNG unknown, fighting for the high ground still. TSM Cloud in this game as well.
Kai on the ultimate high ground up above as the remainder of the lobby is forced into the same maybe 2 or 3 boxes vertically. The rift to go puts a player all the way up top, 2 players all the way up top. Barr getting beamed from underneath, just a little bit of damage, but enough to apply pressure and make him plummet to the ground. You'll see another rift, 3 players up. You hear the combat shotgun shot in midair. Somebody going for a big play if they can pull it off. Can't quite yet though. Barr landing. Gonna waterfall down and layer up. Basically 3 or 4 floors up off the ground. We're in the top 7.
It's a lot of mats used right there.
We got 2 players left need to go down before those final placement points, and every point matters as we've talked about in these placements. Quick edit to check for a shot. Nope, looks down below, applying pressure with the grenades. Excellent grenade play there. Finds Cloud from TSM, hiding on the ultimate low ground. Picks up that elim, putting the top 4 now. Barr dropping down, applying pressure. Another grenade, very close, very risky, and shots from above. That might cost him. We'll see here. No builds left. A quick edit. The shot through finds Fernando. 1v1 situation. A top down. The combat shots from above. Kai picks up the last elimination from the ultimate high ground to the victory royale. Well played.
No builds or not, you are just never going to win a fight 1v1 with attack versus combat right there. Just not going to happen. It's just a better weapon in the hands of his opponent. The combat shotgun shows off just how darn good it is right there. As we head to our next game, up top you've got Class. You saw Chap flying by. Class, I believe the newest signing for 100 Thieves. Currently set on up on the ultimate high ground. There's the Q check again, 1 hour and 38 minutes left.
Class looking around from above. No reason to burn too many materials. Checking down from the top. Anybody on rotation? He's at the back of the Storm, by the way. Kind of an interesting position, which means somewhere in that inventory, I bet you there's a rift to go or a launch pad.
Yes.
Not needing to move too early. I mean, he's got 5 seconds now. I'm going to start to make the move.
And
there's the launch pad.
Actually hit his head, but it seems like that was on purpose.
That was intentional.
Yeah.
The horizontal movement, if you bounce off one of those ramps 2 blocks up, you get shot out like a rocket, essentially, and you can fly across the map. Less chances for people to shoot you out of midair.
200 IQ play from Class right there. Currently set up. He's got the combat shotgun in hand. As we know, sometimes the inventory doesn't load for the players when we hop on into a new lobby. So, Class definitely has more than just a rare assault rifle. Can promise you that. 1 player just above, looking to put some pressure on, and doesn't
a little bit of pressure.
Easier than that.
A little bit of pressure.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
There they go.
Elimination in there. 39 players left. 3 elims right now for Class. Eclipse, his duo may potentially be in here. Those players qualified already. Chap, Macwood, Complexity
in our top 10.
The box.
In our top 10 last time we checked the leaderboards.
Indeed.
And is in a great position to rack up points right here.
As with every grenade, when there's 1, there's 50. Finds the elim on the outside. There's 3 now, 30 points.
It's like chips. It's like potato chips. Like you can't
just eat one. You
can't just shoot 1 grenade.
Show me a person that's eaten 1 chip and then stopped. Yeah, right.
Look at the size of me. I haven't.
The legend has it you're still eating chips to this day. Sorry, Jack. Sorry to expose you.
No, you don't have to. I had some delicious ones earlier. Cheddar cheese, Pringle action.
Excellent.
Macwood spraying, frantically trying to find some sort of damage to put down range. Every point matters. Every elimination matters. A heavy snipe nearly exposes Macwood, but a quick reaction time does stop it. And actually surprised, Macwood is taking a ton of damage.
He could have for a second opted to take shots, but I feel like that player right there, literally the one he's jumping past right now, there were multiple that had line of sight on the box.
Great movement though. Great movement.
Big jump.
Hitting that last ball, getting as far as possible. We'll have time to pop both of these minis, which I expect, okay, only using one, it appears. Wants to save as much of these as possible.
Kind of surprising as we're going into the late game here. He's
Fell.
way
There you
above
go.
the damage threshold. Hey, look, 191 now, no big deal. Looking for shots on the follow-through. The second, maybe a back-to-back. Swap to the combat shotgun. Look at the right side here in just a second. Building up above and finds Das on the rotation up. 5 elims at 32 points. We're in the top 30. Another one of these opportunities.
Look at
Macwood
this
showing
map.
just how versatile those shadow bombs are climbing the mountain.
My goodness, this is a tough zone rotation, and it's going right back, actually. Looks like through where we just were. You see Tilt as well in this game. All the way on the high ground is Thunder. So they're beaming on down, back over to Class, who's currently set on up, kind of towards the higher point of this build. Has made it into the top 25, so more points will be earned.
Pushing on through to the next section here. Just kind of tunneling forward. One of the most important skills for rotation.
Nick A30 was literally talking about it earlier, saying how before
huge.
Before he started to stream, he was in Playground. He was trying to get better at tunneling on uneven ground, like when you need to go up or down or whatever.
It's important too to know when you need to cover all your angles, every side, or just one side or two sides, depending on how you're moving and where you're moving. If you're at the edge of the zone, you don't necessarily have to cover your back if you know that that side's been empty for a while. Or if you're moving across the middle and you want to save materials, maybe a single floor and a ramp, turn rotated, or like you do a jump rotation and quickly place it to end up underneath so you don't use as many materials. By the way, catching a player, specs, immediately placing the launch, jumping off of it.
And what's big is, of everything that just dropped, the one thing Class is able to pick up is 280 brick.
Feels good.
Basically the best thing you could ask for.
Material's so important late game. We're in the top 15 now. Class looking at 20 points, looking for the 21st here in a second. Shot, going for the replace, gets the first layer, going for the replace, gets the second, doesn't quite get the second layer. A little bit of a mis-edit in there too, placing the triangle down. Tons of players up above, one landing directly above, immediately it does the edit to get it to fall through. The player drops down, gets a 124 on the combat, and it's Thunder who goes down, pays the price for the second shot. Very, very good mechanic skill there from Class. A lot of practice goes into moves like that.
Yep, as you hear the rift go off, someone will be contesting for height. Sen Karos did just go down. It's Percently who's all the way up top, and Class catches him off guard.
Oh.
Percently went to look up at the rifter, and Class just jumped behind. And that is a game-changing moment, Dr. Lupo, as Class not only eliminates Percently, but refocuses his attention onto the player. Rifting high ground is now his, and he's up to his highest amount of material so far in this late game.
Pressure applied on Eclipse A, who's basically in the second level there. You've got Lazar and Fox down to the bottom. Shots coming out from Class, moving forward in the stink a little bit on the backside, but no big deal. Eclipse A stuck inside a stink of his own. Lazar and Fox in the ultimate low, fighting it out while still getting shot at from above. 3 builds in Fox's inventory, and Class is sitting on 63. Very important to note that, because that means Class could waterfall down and apply pressure at any time. He also has a chance to wall off and heal off from above. Fox is going to have to take shots. Eclipse A goes down. Fox is basically nothing left. Class, a little bit of fall damage. There we go. The builds leading into the campfires for the HP. Fox sliding it on the hill, stuck outside the storm. Class doesn't have to push, but he doesn't know that. Wait for the last second. Shot from above and finds the victory royale. 8 eliminations.
That was not pretty.
18 points.
That was not pretty right there, but that's where we have it. A good victory royale. 400 Thieves. Class, 8 eliminations. The win, 18-point game. Zeke and Sundown with our updates.
Thank you guys so much, man. Do I love Fortnite? The answer is yes, of course. Who doesn't? Now, guys, of course, we're here in NA East. Excuse me, I almost said West. I don't know why I did that. NA East here, knee-deep in the game. Sundown, we've seen some incredible games so far. Let's take a moment here, slow things down, meet up with Sundown. We'll take a look at some of the awesome clips he's got. We'll take a look at the updated standings, and then go from there.
Right, so first we're going to hop on board here with Bugabot. A great individual effort from him on the low ground here. Note, right before that elim, he had 0 builds, now up to 20. But one thing I want you to keep an eye on is his mentality to shoot first in these situations. It might be because he's lower on the builds, but note how he's looking to walk out and take fights. He's not looking to build himself back out. He wants his shots first, which ends up being huge if you're in a position where you can aggress, picking up has right there, and then able to run it out and get the victory route, just outlasting from 0 builds to a VR. Well done from Bugabot. Now, the Titan of the East, we've talked about it. Players who haven't qualified, 72 hours Tom is on that, and just watch this little bit of a tricksy rotation here. Ends up directly in this player box on the backside of him. Mike can go back to lobby, boxes himself up, puts the trap down. Nice little defense there. Now, rather unfortunate here that he didn't end up with 2 elims, but the tag and the baller does still pick up Testy, so well done there from 72 hours. We've seen a lot of Fernando as well. Now watch him go to work. That was his first elim, but look at what he gets from all of that. Gets high ground control, the legendary AR, and zone priority position. Because he's on this side and players are forced to rotate into him, he's going to be able to use the rifle. Saw him pick up one there, picks another player off of the jump pad. That feels awful if you're Oscarito, and we've seen him have an affinity a number of times for getting picked up off of those jump pads. So maybe grab a shadow bomb or a ball and rotate along the ground as Fernando keeps putting in work there, getting the storm tick over onto Sir Wings. And look, that's the one thing that we stress about these players. It's the action after their immediate action. You don't slow down. You can't stop right after you pick something else up because somebody else is there. Picks up the elim onto Quasi, boxes himself up, and then pushes forward. And he's been doing this entire run while he's being contested. It's not like he's avoiding these fights. He's going and he's looking for them, but he's prepared to take them with that shoot first mentality. Very well done from Fernando there, but let's check out those standings right now. The previous qualifier on top, Misfits Clicks. Let's look at the spread, 40 points down to 30, so just 10 points separating first and 10th, and 6 spots up for grabs. Zeke's with Clicks already having qualified, it would drop down to the 7th spot, and all these guys are right on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like someone like Smacked and Fernando, they have the 3 games played, and they're at the 30 points. Someone like Clicks, who's at the top, has 5 with 40 points. So they have like more room to work with, more throwaway games, I guess, but the point spread is still pretty tight. Don't forget, top 6 will be moving on to finals, so there's still plenty of time. I still feel like this is anyone's game. It just takes one incredible standout game to just rocket up on the leaderboard, you know?
It's absolutely anybody's game. We talk about kind of a reasonable pop-off. A 5 elim victory route is 15 points, or 8 elims, and in the top 5 is 15 points. Any of those is a realistic final game, and we're right around that halfway mark, and with less than 15 points separating the top 10, anybody will be able to jump up on the page, and that's what Fortnite is all about.
Well, let's not hold off any longer, Fortnite fam. Let's just get right back into the action. So for now, let's send it back over to Courage and Dr. Lupo for more Fortnite.
Ooh-wee, the standings are getting juicy. Some would call them soggy as we move into our next game here.
Speaking of soggy, Jack, on your screen, Liquid Vivid.
And Loot Lake.
A player that's already qualified.
Yes.
Qualified week 1. You gotta love that. An opportunity, though, for Vivid to practice his mechanics, keep his game stepped up to the top. Hopefully push up and maybe pick up, got to remember, a little bit of prize money too on the line here. Plus it's doubled. $2 million for the entire weekend is insane.
Absolutely wild.
Gives me chills, Jack.
$2 million every week for these last couple weeks is nuts. That's like, you've been around in competitive gaming for a long time. That is like entire life cycles of games,
Yeah.
Prize money. And now it's these 2 weeks. Don't even get me started on the Fortnite World Cup Finals. That is going to be the spectacle to watch this summer. You will want to be tuned in for that. Later on this summer, in the end of July, you see Hogman continuing to pop up in the elimination feed. Vivid throwing these grenades, and on these awkward to build surfaces, like in the water, it is so tough to dodge them. And you see right there how it winds up working out.
Yeah, here at Loot Lake, multiple players trying to make their way in. 38 left. Vivid starting to tunnel forward, shots from the backside. He's going to wait last second. It looked like he was waiting for one more shot from that opponent's AR before he took the combat shotty shot. Couldn't quite get it. For a read here, going to take ownership of the wall, sees the baller through, and going to apply pressure, taking shots there. It actually is Hogman with the baller inside that brick box in the bottom, Loon up top. Premium moving forward up above too, the next level up. Shots underneath the corner edit there. Vivid's going to have to replace the wall with a new one. Maybe a chance to pop that full shield if he decides it's the right call, which at this point it might be, unless someone nearby is very, very weak. Vivid going to go for the full shield. At this point, waiting. You have 18 seconds until the circle starts to close, which means you don't have to move just yet if you're trying to wait especially if you have a rift in your inventory, a launch pad, anything like that. You can take a second and take shots before movement's required. I believe that's exactly what's going on here. Yep. Vivid's going to rotate on through. Look from underneath, and there is a pyramid separating them now. No chance here. You hear the shadow bomb go off. Vivid might try and track this one down. 54 on the shield on rotation. No chance just yet. A player directly above. He's going to build up and try and match height. Shot from the backside. 32-21. Shield still on that player, and another one rotates in front. It's Navy Rob who goes down to a quick combat shotgun shot.
I actually can't believe Vivid's not being sprayed at more.
Barely even challenged.
Yeah.
Player down to his bottom right. Loot Lake keeping people on their toes. Player right inside finds Luna to box. Follow up the back-to-back. Two shots. Hogman goes down. A very, very competitive player. That's a big elimination. Less of a challenge now to reach that #1 spot this game. Vivid moving forward. Another wounded player on the outside. The baller flies past. Vivid building up. 18 points, 4 elims, and 66 builds. Ammunition not too bad. Loadout not too bad. A player directly underneath. Vivid still making moves non-stop. This is why he qualified week 1. You're looking for a player to watch. This is definitely one high on the list, Jack.
Yeah, he is someone that I think a lot of people always expected to do well and qualify, but the surprising thing for others is that he's the only one of the Liquid boys who has, right? And Vivid has been a absolute beast in solos for as long as he's competed in Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
And right now showing what he can do here. Down to 19 health, though. It looks like the end might be near.
You look back at previous skirmish events, he was routinely taking home first place, second place, third place. Repeat.
Oh, there he goes.
Untamed, catch him on the outside, goes down, 70 players left. Couldn't quite squeak out the top 15 for placement points. If you remember, it's top 25 for 3, top 15 gets you another 2 at 5. Top 5 gets you 2 more to 7, and the Victory Royale is 10. Reminding everybody, if you're just tuning in, there's your scoring setup. Clicks finding another element. You have to remember, too, Clicks right now top of the board. Finds Surge Kurt on the outside, rotating forward with the shadow bombs. What a versatile item right now for movement. One of the best in the game. You're looking for a chance to stay safe. I say pick up a shadow bomb or 2 and make those rotations at the right time.
Yeah, and right now, Clicks. No!
Gets himself.
Boogie bombs himself with this one.
Not a huge deal if that player gets picked by somebody on the move.
Thankfully, no one else came down and got involved.
They're sitting in a bush, back in the baller. No chance there. Kind of just a fresh reset for everybody involved in that one. Clicks taking a shot from the back. 60 shield gone now. He's going to try and climb the hill. This could be big if he can hold on to this for the entire time while this storm's still circling. Bouncing off all these surfaces, lands all the way up top. He's in a box with another player. It's Nut. Goes down in the box. Blue walling off. Clicks now down to 10 shield. 10 players left. Building up. The assault for high ground so important right now. 1 launch pad is heard. Clicks takes a chance to pop a mini. Keep building that tarp forward. May have to reconnect here in a second, depending on how much pressure he feels like he's going to get. Players dropping in. It's funny, even a 9 damage combat shotgun shot is enough to force a player to drop in there. Underkill goes down.
It's because you know there's more shots coming in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wait, if he's already hitting me now, just wait until I'm lower like this. It could be even worse. Clicks, still with 100 builds, showing off why he is one of the most consistent solo players in the NA East region. The Boogie comes in, doesn't actually connect with anybody, but this is as textbook as it can get. You're just keeping the high ground, making sure that if you get dropped down, you won't take any fall damage, let everyone else get scrappy and fight. You just get your placement points, get your last couple of limbs, and you're good. At this point, this is Clicks playing this like he's at the World Cup finals.
100%.
Just practicing. The more the merrier. Keeping the height, not doing anything crazy.
Plenty of build left. Yep. Sitting on 60 plus. Let the other 2 fight it out.
They're
maybe
fighting.
Take a shot. Premium. The last one on the low ground. 1v1 Clicks. Just going to knock the floor out. Taking shots from above. Quick little corner edit and reset. Look at the speed of that. Look at the speed of that. He's double layering brick, puts the floor down, just the one surface, edits the corner, takes a shot, resets, and builds the pyramid.
That was...
Well, just let Premium
that
take out
was scary easy for Clicks. I mean, scary easy.
You want to know why he's the top, Jack? That's why he's the top right now.
That's it right there. I mean, we see other players in a position like that where they've let it get close. Clicks knew exactly how to play that through and through. Barely took a lick of damage and wins the game. Another Victory Royale there. Someone on your screen, you see TSM Vinny, a name that in previous skirmish times popped off. Has pretty much, for me at least, had a pretty quiet Fortnite World Cup so far.
Gone quiet through the World Cup thus far. I'd love to see a big game from Vinny. His duo Zexro as well, another one that's been kind of low-key so far. A lot of players, though, rotating through here. We're at the 50-50 circle in 12 seconds. That means anybody left in Neo tilted is going to have to make a move, and you've got people like Vinny boxed up, a good chance to take third-party shots. I am curious why he just took a great tack shot through a window at probably 100 meters. Not sure. not sure.
Which weapon you have right there.
don't think that was the desired play. No. A little bit of stumble.
Vinny trying to set up for this drop that's coming on in and decides to actually look up and begin to shoot it. Remember, the health of the drop actually depends on the mode you're in. So in solos, it's only got 250 HP. So that's not too bad of a thing to have to shoot on down. And, well, even if he doesn't get the crate,
feels like he got a crate.
Feels like he did. The legendary combat shotgun. What an upgrade there from the common tack.
Caught that player in the rotation in. Is actually still going to get the box. Looks like unchallenged. Big bucks, no whammies.
My
Finds
goodness.
A legendary AR, a big upgrade across the board there, and he's got a full shield in the box as well. Got to hold on to the minis and the slurp. Probably the best call right now since it's most likely only one full. See here in a second. Quick little reset on the wall. He's looking for anybody that might be peeking, anybody that might be making a move, chances to take a shot, and he does have a backup in terms of shield in there. Cowboy, the top right corner of your screen as well. Vinny, the stinks, still getting ticks, sees the player potentially rotating out. Can he track that? Doesn't
he's just,
quite see it.
He's just getting rid of him.
Think he's chucking them away.
He's throwing them away so he can pick back up either the minis or the mini or the full.
Yep.
And looks like we'll decide to go for 5 minis in the slurp, which I think is the right play.
Yep.
Makes sense there. Get some damage down. If there's somehow a storm surge that comes in, that might be the difference between being above or below. I like the play. I like the play.
If it's going to happen for storm surge, it'll be at the end of this circle.
Mm-hmm.
You actually see that this is interesting because the way that we're watching these games, that marker right there, whichever person we pulled this from, that's them marking the edge of the next circle.
Yes.
That's actually a pretty interesting tip for anybody that's watching from home if you're trying to elevate your play. A lot of positioning knowledge will come from knowing when or when not you need to continue rotating in.
Yeah.
If you use the mini map to mark, just put the little marker down, the closest portion of the next safe zone. You know when you've made it in without having to check the mini map to see if you're past it or not. It's very, very, very important to know when you're safe and when you aren't.
Absolutely, in duos especially. If your duo's still alive, you're dead. You got to do things like that. Help give them the best chance possible. Nico hits the ceiling above and actually drops a player right into his box. So basically gets a free elimination right there as the player was not expecting it. And with that, we'll actually move into our top 25. 3 more placement points earned. Shadow Bomb being used, and the quick movement up this slight little hill begins. As you see 72 hours on your screen, alive right now inside of a baller. He was in our top 10 earlier on. Now no longer the case the last time we got a leaderboards update.
Blue T in here as well. We're going to jump in with Nico live. 4 eliminations, 137 builds, a really good loadout, and Bloom not doing too well on the bottom there. There was an RPG, doesn't opt to pick it up. Could have potentially swapped out the AR or the TAC AR for that. Doesn't do so, though. No big deal. 19 points now. Catches a player inside the same box, maybe one box over at this point with rotation. Moving forward, no time to waste here. You don't want to be stuck at the edge of the safe zone as a baller actually swings through and opens everything up. Nico forced to rebox very quickly, burning through the materials down to 32 metal. Keo from Cloud9. The very bottom of your screen.
Look at 72 hours on height right now.
Liquid 72 hours, top of the screen there. Cole as well. Blue T. Jojo.
Cole's breaking him out. Cole's doing everything he can to break him out. And 72 hours having to deal with that. He just wants to begin to fire down on everyone, but can't get a chance right now. Here's Kaizui. Again, one of the younger players on 100 Thieves. 78 total health, but a ton of ammo, so get some health back and maybe some mats. He's definitely can spray for days.
Kaizui, player rotating behind through the storm for just a second. One drops in, the heavy snipe does apply pressure. Kaizui goes down, it's Blue T from above. Oh my gosh, it looks like they traded inside the box, the trap and the shot. A quick swap there, both players going down at the same time. Meanwhile, all the way in the ultimate high ground for just a second there, we're in the top 15, but 72 hours from Team Liquid still in it. Blasian goes down. Jojo still in this as well, 10-bit just inside with a barely alive baller as Nico, the forefront of the storm. He's got a baller in the box immediately next to. Wouldn't be surprised if there was pressure.
I can tell. Whoa! All
Rift.
pulled into the rift. 3 of them.
3 players all the way in the sky. 9 remaining.
And they'll gladly float this one out. Look at all the destruction going on down low.
Just wait it out.
There goes 72 hours. Did get dropped on down.
It's like he went out 8th. Doesn't quite get the 7 points for a top 5. Shatang gonna drop past Deity with the ultimate high ground. Keo in the mid tarp. Pyrovoil flying all the way past. Got players still stuck in the bottom. Jojo, the ultimate low ground. Shatang finds Keo inside a box. Nico and Deity fighting for the ultimate high ground. Ranch forced down a little bit too. We're in the top 5. Placement points going out for everybody. 7 now.
Nico's so high up there right now.
In the sky.
Nico, the question is Nico have anything to wind up dropping down with? From our perspective, from what we can tell a spectator, no, but
that middle
with it going up the hill,
something.
Should now be all right. But look at how weak all these players are down low. The storm doing so much damage, and Nico more than happy to just keep building on up, keep playing this distance. Shatang gets 2, so winds up getting a lot of HP, but spraying, and it's all for naught. Nico just sits up there and basically idly wins that game. Pretty easy. When you got the high ground like that, building in brick, there's no chance of him getting shot down at all. And what I'm loving to see here, Ben, is this players doing a good job of calculating when they're on height, if they need to challenge or not. That's like 2 or 3 games in a row now where the person on height has just sat up there, let the storm do its job, as long as you tag them once.
In the last 60 seconds,
last 60 seconds.
Crazy.
Get a little tag on them, and then let the ultimate enemy, the zone, do its job for you. 1 hour and 15 minutes left in the queues until NA East solo qualifiers for the Fortnite World Cup Finals are over.
You're trying to get your 10 matches in. Now's the time to do it. 44 players left. Speaking of those 10 matches in this match, Attack AR, the blue combat shotgun, minis, shadow bombs, sitting on the edge of the zone. John, no need to apply too much pressure, doesn't have to move, just kind of wait it out. Take third-party shots, get those quick window edit resets and hold this one watching through on that ramp using the little holes in the brick structure underneath of his opponent. Gonna start making a move here. Goes for the window replace. It's the wall replace. It's not even challenged. Here we go. This player might not have audio. Yeah. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, that's just, again, when you're not just like in a 1-by-1, when there's more behind you, sometimes it can catch you off guard. As that's what happens right there. FaZe Dubs actually in this lobby, and
Didn't you say?
Said FaZe
you
Dubs.
Go on records as saying FaZe Dubs is the best solo player in the world
as of right now.
Interesting.
With technically with the placings we've got, there has been no person more consistent currently. What's he had, like 1st, 3rd, 6th, 2nd or something?
Nope, no person more consistent. Okay, I have to ask, have you not been watching Tim's stream? Consistently fall damage.
That is true. Consistently bad.
We're talking about consistency,
yeah.
Jack. Really, you're gonna?
Yep.
Sorry, Tim. I'm trying to defend you here, bud.
It's all right. I'm sure he's really upset right now with his hand tats.
Listen, he's tough and you can't handle it.
I can't wait to see Tim this week. I'm going to give him a big hug.
Ray in the feed picking up an Elam. Flo taking one out as well in the top 35. Zycoma and Baldy right next to each other here. A little back and forth. You see them both actually facing each other. And just quick edit resets for transparency on the walls.
You're like, you good? You good?
You gonna move?
You good?
You gonna make a move? I'm just gonna wait. You gonna move? I'm not going yet. You going?
It's the game of chicken right now as Baldy keeps editing, looking for any opportunity to rain down fire from up above.
Who gives into the pressure first, right? And puts himself out in the open.
Wondering if the rift gets used here or Baldy just says.
He's high enough up, he doesn't necessarily have to, but I'm going to say because he's waiting here, I think you might be right. He's just looking back and taking shots, thinking, I'm just going to use the rift when it's time. There we go. There's a reason for it, too. One Elim looking for the second. Baldy, the storm right there, the swap, and falling down. I believe I heard it.
He rifted. He did. Here's Dubs. It doesn't get much easier than that. The player with 17 HP gets cut down, and Dubs will go follow this up right away. Look for any materials possible. This baller trying to snake them all.
Just a little bit.
There you go. Now Dubs has made it on it and says, no. This is mine. This is mine. And whoa, 3 big shields, 6 minis. Oh gosh.
That's a yikes.
Okay, Dubs, not a fun time right now. Remember, when you're in the shadow form, you cannot edit. You cannot make any plays like that. So Dubs gets trapped in there and takes 80 storm damage because of it.
Very fast edits on the tunnel there, moving forward. basically not letting go of the sprint the entire time. Look at these, walling and editing a corner out every single layer, burning through materials very quickly, but
dude,
a very stable base to make a move.
It just set in how insane the Battle of Regions is going to be at the Fortnite World Cup. Like, Mongrel, Mr. Savage M are going to be repping EU that I know all of Europe's going to get behind. You've got the likes of Dubs, Tfue representing NA. I mean, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
The best players from every region.
Yeah.
Making their way to one stage. I'm gonna have heart palpitations, Jack.
Bro, it's gonna be one of the most insane events of all time. There's just no doubt in my mind about that. Bez loves Shane being pressured now by Dubs. Dubs did get a solid shot down range. Unfortunately, shotgun not reloaded, so we'll have to take a moment there to let that weapon reset. As now the zone going back the way it just came, so.
Plus some 50 builds now. Dubs, 70 HP, has a chance, just kidding, 100 HP. A little misspeak there, 11 players left. Freak Twinkie goes down, shots from above, another player. Title shot found outside of a window, looking through for a peek, potentially, doesn't quite get it. Shots in the back instead, a big trade out there. The legendary combat shotgun.
Oh, this movement is just
forward.
dirty.
Looking for the shot, doesn't quite go for it. No chance just yet. Mustache from Tempo in the feed, picking up another Elam. We're in the top 8 now. Dubs, quick edit, takes out the top half, looking for shots through. Right here.
Should have enough time to pop this big shield. Thankfully, the stink grenade bombardment has stopped. Remember, top 5 is the last placement points outside of winning the game, and just like that, Dubs has made it on into the top 5. Now up to 28 points. Still building out. Turret comes into play for that extra health on the build so it doesn't get shot down. And oh no, the build he was going to land on gets shot out. Trying to put pressure on, gets one. How about a second? Not going to happen. Baldy wins that fight. The challenge comes in from the high ground. Baldy so weak. How will he make this pop? How will he make this happen? Baldy spraying frantically, trying to get this player to fall on down. 4 HP. There's no way, right? I mean, there's no way, right?
There's always a way, Jack. Don't count him out just yet.
Baldy, one tick of the storm ends this game. The player was building with metal, and
there it is.
That's it right there.
John holds the high ground, the last second victory royale. He was one of the first players we jumped on board with in this game.
Lock it up.
Locking it up.
Yeah.
Sitting on the top of the hill and ends up paying off big.
Oh, yeah. Nice job there by John. See who will win that game. Victory royale. Shout out to Baldy, though. A good little performance. the damage threshold for the Storm Surge, and typically when Storm Surge pops up, it forces some people to play.
which gives him more shadows and gives him high ground control. And look here how he extends out the timer on the shadow bomb. He's in shadow form the whole time, is able to get into the player's box, picks up Nut, who is on the top 10 of the leaderboard right now. So it's not like he's just cleaning out the bottom of the barrel. These are other players competing for a spot in Clicks. I remember originally watching him in the Lux Cup and thinking, wow, this kid Clicks on YouTube. He's pretty good. I hope we get to see more of him. Well, we're going to be seeing more, particularly if he's closing out games like that. Nico, the only player in this little package who isn't already qualified for the World Cup, but goes on a great little spree here. 150 in terms of his builds, and that's going to enable him to kind of navigate this super, super tightly packed tarp. You saw 25 players there in Circle 8. Circle 9, still 13 players left. He still has 97 builds. That's because his mentality is he's looking for the elims, picks up a number of jump pads, and refreshes on builds again. So keep an eye on the top left. 7 players left now, and he challenges into the high ground. All of a sudden, he picks up this elim here, knocks the player out with the storm changeover, and top 5 ultimate high ground control and nothing else. Showtang picks up the 2 on the bottom, but Nico is just going to be able to wait him out, doesn't get a tag going over there, so the storm will tick him over. And last but not least, it wouldn't be a highlight reel if we didn't show Dubs. Taker of Walls, best average placement in a Sunday final, as Courage said, with a 6th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd coming out there, averaging 3rd place overall in what is one of the most stacked regions. You see him just take the wall right away from Yoshi and continue running through the tarp, always looking for opportunities, looking to challenge, wanting to take the shots, and pressuring the rest of the lobby. Hey, you want to win the Fortnite World Cup, you have to be beating players like this. You have to beat the Dubses, the Clicks, the Vivids of the world in order to get up there. And right now, Clicks is flexing, saying, yeah, I'm in 1st place. What of it?
Man, after 6 games, 2 victorials, one of only 2 people in top 10 with the 2, he's got himself that pretty hefty lead. I mean, don't forget, guys, it is top 6, so making their way into finals, so this is the cutoff point right here. But if we look outside of the Clicks' lead, right, 42 to 38, again, these points are still really, really close.
Like I said, it's the difference 26th to 25th, popping a shadow bomb, waiting a half second before you rotate. Literally.
Oh, actually, you know what I just thought about? This is already qualified.
Yep,
you were going to say...
bump one more down. It's all good.
Yeah, so
no worries, because at this point, really, like the one little spot with all of these guys here, as soon as one more match changes over, this whole thing is going to change. The leaderboard is so absurdly close. These are the moments that matter. This is where you will be able to cement yourself as one of the best of the best. And if you don't do it now, you won't be on that stage in New York City competing for your piece of the $30 million prize pool.
Too bad we cannot compete for that prize pool, but oh well, only the future could tell. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite fam, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. We are going to go to a break, so get up, stretch your legs, find a snack, use the bathroom. But don't get too far, because in 5 minutes, we've got more action. Don't get too far. See you then. Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped.
not step into those walls. That was clearly a mistake there.
And he got him with the flint. And one thing you notice there, as Trey poked out, it kind of messed him up because the flint pushed him into the corner of the box. He missed his first shot because of that. Might have been able to win the trade, but wasn't enough. Get kind of caught playing Loot Goblin there, but now Clicks pushing into the box. There's so many edits going on there, making sure he owned the ramp, flipped it back, pushed himself forward, and picks up the Elam. Brilliantly done there from the Misfits player. There's a reason he's double qualified, the first player out of NA to do so, and he's going to continue his run here as he kind of takes a second, boxes up, and tops off on shields.
Clicks has definitely made a name for himself here in the competitive Fortnite scene. Just interesting to see what he'll be able to do now in New York City. He is kind of shown up, really taking the scene by storm, honestly.
I'm so excited for LAN. Like, I'm so absurdly excited. Not just because we get to see all of these players all in the same custom lobby for the entirety of the game, see what the contestants go out, but just, does somebody play different? Is somebody a little more hesitant? Is somebody more aggressive?
I think they do. I think some players are going to stick to their roots and push through, but that might be the downfall, man. These guys are just going to be waiting for something to pop off to, server collapse, if you want to call it that. This server collapsing is going to be disgusting at Fortnite World Cup.
I got faith, man. Because don't forget, those Elams still worth the point, man.
Yeah,
still got to go out there. They'll be able to get it. Clicks, pick it up. Trey there, who we saw earlier with a nice flintlock play, but not going to save you from Clicks as he pushes in with that epic combat shotgun. Pops his last shadow bomb and is going to get moving over onto the far side of the zone.
Love what he's doing, too. He's got so much material. He's playing for higher elevation right here. But with this many players alive, no layer is safe, especially not the lowest. In comes the drum gun pressure right there. Does see a player on the campfire, decides, hey, he's still got shield. Focuses on the next person. This is the problem with having a drum gun. Notice that was a little sloppy.
I was about
players
to say,
are so exposed.
And also that first bloom shot, man, that was rough. He literally had the guy painted, and it was just like one of the scenes out of the cartoons where he hit everything but him. And right there, Shababan Clicks hits everything, including you. Trap shotgun right there. You have Exulting just below Clicks. The controller player duo of Excels trying to put some pressure on him, but just going to disengage. Grandma just below him. We've seen him on the leaderboards time and time again. Symphony also in his own box, but Bizzle is going to smell him out there and send him back to the lobby. Well done from the week 1 qualifier. And the Ghost General, the highest earning Fortnite player in competitive history right now, is trying to make his mark on this lobby, sitting at 30 points, already qualified 2 boogies, heavy sniper, and the legendary combat.
Yep, and this is exactly where he likes to be, that end game. A little more placement threshold being broken into right there. Nice little edit, catches a clean Elam on Nicole, who had the storm pressure. You notice that did crumble just a bit there.
And he's into the top 15 as well. Right, the player right on the side is looking for it. Slem was actually the one to pick that up. So Bizzle going to continue going forward. And this is where he loves to fight. I know Bala has been a big talk about it, but how good the Ghost guys are at tunneling and fighting from their tunnel, whether it's Sean or Bizzle or Demo or Snood, every single one of them can fight from these angles, and Bizzle trying to do it. No. But the ramp in his face, Boogie Bobs, Disco out in the open. Leo being the benefactor of that one. Kydra, honestly, just, I don't know if it was luck, benefactor, right time, right place, but Bizzle gets sent back. Grandma, however, picks up Leo right after, so we're on board with Shaded Talent on the ultimate low ground as Grandma picks up another one.
Yep, Grandma is in this game. You see him popping off in the feed. Shaded trying to get up higher. The higher he goes, the closer he gets to Grandma. Will he be able to connect right here? Does land a shot. It's Clicks who goes down. Beautiful trap, too. You put it on the ceiling. It's undodgeable, essentially. And that was how he caught Clicks off guard right there. Shaded Talent, now one step closer to high ground. He's going to step out into the storm and sacrifice just a bit more to get nice and secure set up in the top here.
And then he has the stinks to be able to rain him down. I don't know if he realized he's completely uncontested, but now AJ is forced right out in the storm. And with the tick over from the storm change, he's going to get it. He'd get it either way, but Shaded smelt it, he dealt it, and everyone else in the lobby had to deal with it. 4 Elams and the Victory Royale, bumping him up to 33 points.
You would think we'd see more end games like that, where the stinks just flush out everyone in the low ground, but to hold on to something so valuable to the end.
That's
a tough play.
How rarely
tough
are you
play.
like getting into a top 3 situation where you have uncontested high ground and you have 2 stinks? Like the reason that doesn't typically end up happening, you don't see that more often. You think like, oh, that's the best use case for a stink. Yes, if you get into that situation.
You got to make it there, and then like you got to hold on to him. So.
Right. But whereas if you, and we've talked about this, I know Courage is a big advocate, if you have 3 stinks in a solo and somebody's boxed up, you can effectively eliminate them, right? You can chase them around or at least force them to burn a ton of materials. So that's why you tend to see players opt to use them, because you can get kind of tags on players. Oh, yak. Trying to go for the immediate wall replace, but you can see how there's a little bit of an issue when you get exposed. If the other player goes to shoot first, you know, they get that first shot on you. As that happens right there, and Yak trades it back out with Bisbo. You can take the wall and own it all you want, but if you don't hit the shots, it doesn't matter.
That was 2 125s. Precision aim right there. Yak finds himself a ton of loot, materials, zone. He's got so much going for him now.
It was actually kind of a misplay by the other player. I think it was Bisbo. When you're kind of poking there, you need to shoot, and right as you shoot, move your character model over to the left. He just sat his character model in the window, basically framed his face to catch those pellets. Make sure you're abusing that right-hand advantage. If you have it, you can't give it up, or you can't have it and then not use it. Otherwise, you don't have an advantage. But now, the other half of the Dubs Mega pairing trying to push in here, has full qualified already for the solos and duos, and is now trying to put a little pressure on this player on the outside.
One step closer, he did take the wall. He doesn't even know it was his cone too. Did try to combat it, and Flint follow up Frosted. It was just too fast. Mega was just too fast for him to react. He was one step ahead of him every single moment, in every single moment of that battle right there.
Man, it must feel awful to just get victimized by Mega and
I would be
Dubs.
so upset to go against one of these guys. They're too quick. Literally
They're just very, and we talk about like what makes some of these players good. In some circumstances, they do everything right. Sometimes they're just very good and they're fast. Like that would be what I say kind of Mega, Dubs, Benji, Fishy, Mr. Savage. Well, they all have like certain types of traits about them, the certain things they do well. Yes, they're all incredibly fast-paced players with everything they do. And in and of themselves, that's almost their defining trait. The quickness at which they do everything. Beating somebody in Fortnite to the punch by a quarter of a second is enough for a shot. If you're doing that every single time, you're getting their wall every single time because you're that much faster, then you're going to be able to snowball those advantages, compound them into something better. That's why the best of the best are so consistent.
As we focus in on Mega here, let's see what he's gonna do. We have praised him enough on how quick he is. He's at 14 eliminations. If you don't believe us by now, you're crazy. You don't get that high, that aggressive in finals. Guys, mind you, this is everything on the line for New York City, right? Potentially. And he just pushes through. Just goes all the way through, no hesitation. That's one. Someone else does join the battle here. Finds him as well. Quick little flick right there.
That was just gross.
16 elims.
He hit the flint knock headshot. I was honestly like, I half thought he was going to push in for the pickaxe. The flint knock will do the 180 if you get that full headshot there, but instead sticks with the combat and then picks up the nice little double. But now it needs to be careful of the 6. Good job getting up 2 blocks, and then luckily, as he pops the shadow, the shots miss towards the door. So, you know, sometimes you got to make your own luck. Mega catching it right there is going to put down the campfire as well as the 2 minis. If you blinked, you might have missed it, but he's now in the center of zone, boxed up, campfire one side, launch pad in the zone next to him, and now reloading all of his weapons, ready for the next rush.
Yeah, he did manage to drop the flint and pick up a grenade launcher. Interesting to see how that's going to play out here in this end game, because it's not typical you see someone have a grenade launcher towards these congested zones. But this is the perfect time to use all these shadow bombs, guys. Just keep him in the game and rotating. He is on someone's heels right here. He was really trying to get that elim right there, chasing him all the way up.
And one thing that's super important to note there, notice how he didn't jump or double jump or wasn't sprinting. He was literally walking directly behind the player. Any of those other movement options would have given away, and the player would have known, would have had an opportunity to box him in, potentially trap him out. That's what we talk about when we say do all of the little things right. You might not think about it. You might think, oh, I get the double jump, I better use it. No, players adapt. They've gotten used to it. They know to look for the smoke trails, to just throw bullets towards it and to hope to get it. But Mega going one step farther, and he still has 2 more, enabling him so much. And here go the grenades. Will we see Mr. Savage 2.0, who is the best billiard player in NA? He fires all of them down low, and no ticks coming through yet.
But the pressure of the explodes, the sounds, it's as much of a mind game as it is the whole psych just to kind of connect here. So let's see what Mega's gonna do. He's looking for the elims down low. He doesn't care about who's up above. He's trying to inch his way down here. Just taking a little bit more control of this layer. He doesn't have any movement, any freedom space here. He's gonna find Dream TV.
Wait. That was a grenade tag. It had to have been. He hasn't shot anybody else in the last minute. So he had to have hit somebody with a grenade, gets flint knocked out into the zone there. But can he cover himself? 7 HP. Oh! Mega drops down. Winteroo, you can go back. It's the time of summer, and it's the time of phase Mega. What a sick edit and sick play. Now up to 107 effective HP. Papa Eggy on the high ground. Hoffner gets personally victimized by Mega, like basically the rest of the entire lobby, up to 19 elims. But now on the low ground, Shadow Bomb comes out from Eggy. Hot feet for Mega, hot feet for Eggy, but he's in the shadow, and Mega finds him. He finds him because he jumped, monster.
I don't know how he just did that, but he managed to really pull through and clutch up at the end. That was as close as we've ever seen it, and that was a 20 elimination game there.
30 points. 30 points for Mega. We saw him at 7 HP. Again, I cannot stress it enough. If you're watching and you want to get better at Fortnite,
imagine dropping a 20 bomb.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine dropping a 20 bomb in any game. Like, I think I've had a 20 bomb once, maybe, in a pub. I think, and I felt really, really, really happy. He's doing it in the finals against the best of the world. If you want to go watch these games, watch their perspectives, you can load it up in the client yourself. You can go to the leaderboard, set the region. Right now, we're on NA East. Then you can click the compete tab at the top, load up week 9, and check out all of the individual greatness. Whether you want to be watching Tfue or Dubs or Mega or any of the other solo players who have already qualified, I promise you, they will all put on a show as we get into the final half hour of the queues. And already, Chap, Tilpill, Snood, all up over on this side. Clicks in the match as well. Right as I said that, Tilpill gets taken out by, honestly, the Demon Hunter right now. That's what Clicks feels like. He's just running around cleaning up everyone.
Dude, Clicks is fearless right now. He's he has nothing to lose at this point. This is all good practice for the Fortnite World Cup. This Chap is now putting pressure on players that are gliding across, and what a Death Valley here. You do not want to have to cross this. You think, oh, I have a launch pad, I'm okay. No way, not when players have this much elevation kind of set up. This poor guy's probably going to use redeploy. He uses the flint knock actually trying to save himself there. He's still in the game.
Was able to catch himself right there at the bottom. You see Kearney also here. Chap trying to get an angle on the rest of the lobby. Again, the Liquid Old Guard desperately trying to qualify and join Vivid on that stage in New York City. We have EG's J-Truth also in the lobby. Nobu Beef, it does get picked up. Bears also going down. 33 players remaining. Circle 6, and also a ton of verticality changes going on the circle. Look at the bottom right, monster.
Yeah, it's going straight across another valley towards the tilted, or neo-tilted mountain. You guys are very familiar with this mountain. It's been in the game for a while here. So to have to cross back, another steep elevation coming from the shifty side.
Yeah, that old clock tower mountain gives a really, really good kind of vantage point over the rest of Tilted, but it's really awkward to kind of end up fighting around and rotating over because it's such a steep valley into then this kind of like gradual hill that drops off right after. So we'll see some interesting rotations coming out, but now on board here with Joy with that tactical assault rifle, trying to throw some shots over. You do see Storm Surge over on your right-hand side. Only one more player has to fall before that turns off, and the rotation is coming through. So Joy is going to be looking for those gatekeeping opportunities. You see him checking the angles as Shiga picks up Senseful. Temp gets picked up by Joy. He's going to be like, all right, got my elim, I'm out. Waiting for the opportunity to then rotate over and away. The question is, how long can he extend out the Shadow Bomb? Not long enough, gonna opt to use the second one. Does get the tick over in the Storm as well onto Shiga, so good job from him.
Look at
and
this.
now all the way far side of the zone.
manages to really just hop his way up and over all the builds. Perfect usage of the shadow bombs here. He hasn't even reloaded the tactor. He's already on the offensive push here. Another player did rotate by. He's kind of getting his eyes set on who's going to be his next victim. Went from 1 eliminations to 3. Will this be the 4th? And it is going to be the 4th. Let's have fun, okay? We saw him a bunch yesterday, ending in the top 10. I think he finished about 6.
But doesn't look like he's having as much fun, okay, today, as J-Truth picks up another Elam. Grandma goes down outside of the top 15. Says Lucky also down, another player who qualified for duos, looking for a solo qualification. You have Snood, the second best average Sunday finisher in the entire world, but hasn't managed to get a qualification spot. 2 9th place finishes for him. Will this week be his week? You see Joy shots up towards the top ground, and he gets Prestovant with the drop down in the alley-oop afterward.
Yep, and here it is. Joy has now found himself 2 layers up and over these opponents here. He has to be very careful. He's looking to see if he can just disconnect this entire build, maybe get some fall damage.
Needs to look up, though. There was a rift that went off. This is not completely uncontested, and boom, there it is. He realizes there's the 3 players in the sky, wants to hold this high ground, so he's going to push over towards this other player, and he gets it away from him, except gets the high ground ripped away from him, and Joy immediately looks up and places the trap down.
Yeah, he did manage to pull that off. What is going on here? Click's still in the game. Baldy's still in the game as well. Click's pops the big old rift. He's getting this nice rotation. He sees the mountain up ahead. This is going to work out perfect for him as Joy is probably running low on mats. A lot of builds coming out of him, except going up. And Click just lands on the ramp, doesn't even care. No respect for Joy at all. Puts the double ramp off right there.
Just absolutely took it away from him. Clicks in the top right, Joy in the bottom right. That's the fight that's happening on the high ground. You have 2 separate 1v1s. Clicks versus Joy, except versus phase attacks. And attacks runs him over. Absolutely brilliantly done from him there. After taking out J-Truth, gets that there. So he has uncontested low, but with no mats to his name. So Clicks is just going to rain down on the lobby. Only 2 mats left on Joy, and a singular shadow bomb that is there as well. Everything is pointing to Clicks if he can get his way down. Attacks, goes forward onto Joy, and Joy finds it. He gets the siphon, but he's down on the HP lead as Clicks has the high ground, but is starting to run low on mats. Only has 12 left, but that's all it takes. The combat shotgun from nearly 6 tiles up. The hard aim down sights for Clicks. 3 Elams, victory royale, locks it up with the 13 points. There's a reason he's qualified in duos, solos, and he's in first place. Well, right now, well done, Clicks, but the action doesn't stop. Again, 49 players left, nearly half of the lobby in this match, and we're on board here with Raised by King Steens. 25 minutes left.
Yeah, definitely was a crazy game right there for Clicks, but jumping into the next game, 25 minutes left on the queue. This is going to be a close one here for Steens, as he is running out of time on the clock for the final opportunity for anyone, guys, to make it through the Fortnite World Cup final stage. This is it. This is the last moment. So if another 50-man, highly congested lobby, Storm 6 is approaching.
And we're going through Tilted. We talk about all of the natural structures and stuff that is already there. It's so incredibly difficult to move back through them. You can see Steens right now trying to pre-break a bunch of those, but there's a player right next to it. Gets the shot first for the 73, and then forces the player to disengage. Dynamite coming over towards this whole structure. Will Steens push forward for it? First edit, second edit. Players right there, phasing through the floor, and opts to disengage. No shot coming out yet. Oh, he found him. He owns that ramp.
Oh, that's
that should be
his.
free, yeah.
Oh my, another 124. Guys, the combat has such a tight crosshair. These shots are just barely connecting at full range right there. That's insane. Such a tough shot to make in a close quarter like that. Beautiful flicks right here. Steens is in it to win it right now, and he is now replenished to max materials. Taking a look around the map now. You see, you have class in this game. Nuke's boss. Again, we see more boombo action here. Will we see some Elams being picked up? Not as much as we saw before. That little change to the boombows made a big difference.
Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of scoffed at it at first, like, oh, like 0.25 seconds. That's not a big difference. When you look at small numbers like that in particular, I advise people to think in terms of percentages, right? So yeah, you think, oh, a quarter of a second, that's not that long of a time. But one, a quarter of a second is about the natural reaction speed for a human, and two, that's a 25% increase. So all those like sick full draw flicks you saw before, you don't have the time to do that anymore. Because yes, the extra half second, you're like, oh, what is that? But if it's the reaction time for your average human being, I promise you, the competitive Fortnite player has a much faster reaction time than that. So all of a sudden, they hear any amount of that draw, or you don't get as quick of a release, it's not going to be as effective. Not to say it's not strong, but it's definitely slightly more significant than people thought at first.
Yeah, definitely. Percentages are huge, and we talked about reaction speeds. Nuke's boss has picked up a 3-piece on his rotation and has managed to find
the tree!
So close, hits the tree as Nut walks right past him. He did do the last bit of damage, so you're rewarded.
Any cheat, we're gonna have to look at that maybe for teaming, because Nut in the tree, I mean, similar names going through there, the tree holding up there, just make sure. But no, brilliantly done from Nut. Super unfortunate there that the tree happened to be there, but you know, sometimes luck's on your side and sometimes it's not, as we're on board here with Clarity G. Trying to find an angle, still has his baller as well as 2 shadow bombs, so a lot of utility coming out, has the heavy sniper as well, and you can see him just trying to find a spot to hang out with the baller so he won't get shot down. This is one thing about these baller rotations. The players try and hang out off the underside of builds so you won't take additional ammo. You still see about 5 of them trying to make their way up the side. Kazooie gets Boogie Bomb, but is going to be okay. And this rotation is nuts and stacked. Everyone trying to go up and over this hill. As you can see, Nistic, Tech, Twizbot, CWV, Nobu BFO, Prodigy Aces, Tendi, 2 Chens, all going down to the storm. And Old Man Mountain, he is patient. He is calm, and he will claim his toll. The lobby goes from 30 to 18 in the blink of an eye.
Just over the mountain, a nightmare situation for these players that do not have mobility. And it's crazy because not one friendly launch pad came down, so they all went down. Everyone paid the price there.
It's like you're looking for recycled utility. It's like, who's going to be the one to do it? Hey, but if nobody is recycling, nobody gets to go. And that was what we had talked about. We talked about how this hill can end up for an awkward rotation. And look at what it spawned as the players now have to rotate back through it. TJ on the high ground, 2 players ripped up into the rift. Casker and Vayne on the low ground. Top 15 remaining right now.
And somehow Clarity still managed to keep the ball with the no health. Literally all it needs is 1 shot here and it can be taken out. But with all the chaos, all the players, he's managing to just stay in it, just avoid all of these guys, avoid all this problematic.
Largely by doing this, you can see hanging out on the underside of the high grounds builds. He's not going to edit himself and look back down. But right as he does it, gets the build broken. That player isn't going to be looking to knock that ball away. He wants to find Elam's Clarity, looks skyward, hits the heavy snipe, but no knocking down there. Kazooie is still in this match. It did just pick up Chief. Vayne also still in the match on the low ground. Kazooie going to drop ops to catch himself and then swap right to the combat shotgun. Clarity picking up Kazooie there as he continues to work downward. We're into the top 10 now.
Love it. He is looking to now take down this build here. It's not held up on much. And interesting, he had shadow bombs, but he waterfalled all the way down.
It's coming down now.
Someone is coming down. It's his high ground to keep if he can just hold it here.
There's no one there, though. It's fine. Top 5 and high ground now for Clarity all of a sudden. Still has 20 builds and the 2 shadow bombs.
Oh, man, it's going back up and over. Futat tries to land on him. Clarity gets shot. Is he going to be able to continue to keep it? Yes, he does. He keeps his high ground and trades a monstrous shot in return. Wraps him right up. Now it's all his once again, and he's replenished on health.
Great double trap there from Clarity onto Futatu right as he pushed in the box. Casker and TJ going at it in the bottom right-hand corner. Casker going to be the beneficiary of that one. And now he's looking. He's not staying with the zone. Using the RPG to drop down Clarity. Clarity has zone position, gets the first shot, and Casker finds it! He got the 1 shot. Casker, you lord! 5 elims, victory royale. 15 points there, pushing him up to 46. What a finish, my Lord Casker. Courage, that was pretty sick.
It does not get much closer than that. Right down to the final moment. Hits the shot he needs to and wins the game. Folks, I'm back here on the stage with my good friend Dr. Lupo as we've been watching the NA action unfold. Now, Ben, we've also got a ticket to punch, but we'll get to that in a second. First, catch up to speed on what you've been looking out for.
NAE so far putting on an excellent show, and actually
coming up there.
One of the craziest things we've seen thus far up until right now is the standings have been kind of it's a new set of faces.
Yeah, this last week, everyone that's been fighting for those spots has risen through the ranks. It is now in that top 10. The question is, who winds up holding on to those spots, as we are still waiting to see that all unfold. Either way, though, those coveted positions, 6 more left. It's coming down to the wire. This is the last opportunity they have to make it into the Fortnite World Cup.
3,000 players from every region played through on Saturday to make it here, but right now, the top of the top of the top for NA East. Here's your standings. A quick refresh of everything we've seen. Like we just saw, Clicks, multiple games so far today, 3 victory royales, only 7. He still has 3 left. 66 points, and he's already qualified.
Yeah.
So you have to keep in mind, too, players like Clarity, Mega, even though all the way down to the bottom, Colorful, those players, if they end up in the top 6 for NA East, all you have to do is just adjust the list of who's going to qualify. So if you freeze it right here, this is one of the craziest things, as we head into the final week of solos, freeze it right here, every single player on this board would end up qualifying because you have 1st, 4th, and 5th pushes multiple positions down. It's insane. And that's consistency, because then you have Clicks, Clarity, Mega, Colorful, all already in the top 10 right now as it stands right now. But like I said, still have games left to play.
Tough thing is Aspect already at 10 games played, won't be able to up that score anymore. We'll see if they can potentially hold on to their position. We know that that's a look at NA East. I believe we also have an update for Brazil.
The final standings for
final
Brazil.
standings for Brazil.
There it is.
Node qualifies. Techno Viking in that 2nd spot, so close, but not enough in the end. You see the 9Z boys on there as well. Either way, Clipnode, the one qualifier from Brazil, which means we've got a ticket to punch. We've got a ticket to punch.
Jack,
for the World Cup finals. Ben, I know this is something that you've struggled with.
It's going to work. It has to work. At some point, it's going to work. All right.
Do it.
So, I've seen everybody else do it. It's just a little corner tap. I think that I've been hitting the middle. I'm going to try the corner, okay? Ready?
All right, go ahead.
Man.
Ben. Let's throw it back to our casters. To the break.
Hey Fortnite fam, Ball2W here to get in the nitty gritty of competitive Fortnite.
overtakes, man, words, or what's going on with me today. Overtakes Dopeye up on the high ground, and look at this dude. He's dropped into critical HP. He's just got to bail on the entire situation. He's like, Graska, my bad, man. I didn't know it was your high ground.
Sorry about that. Good to go now.
Almost here. Top 5, Lupo getting close.
80 damage there. Graska looking to follow through. See if he can pick up an elimination. Going to double layer above. You want to keep ownership of as many surfaces above as players are rotating. Look at that shot. That's exactly why. Takes ownership of the ceiling. Quick edit. Shaz goes down. 4 players remaining. 8 elims right now for Graska. Big game. Victory Royale or not. We'll see here in a second. Dopey on the ultimate low ground. 30 HP, it looks like. Trick and Nyko King fighting it out. The same tarp, the same box. Nyko King drops out just before getting the elim and actually goes down himself. Trick going down to Graska. It's a 1v1 with Dopey with no builds, 29 HP. Here we go. The shots from above. Constant pressure is all it's going to take, as this is Graska's game to win. Imagine a loss right now. Yeah, right. It couldn't be me. And Graska takes it home.
Very well executed from him. Just identifying, you know, when to go for the high ground retake. Obviously, you want high ground heading into these later circles, but, like, you got to know when to do it. Because if you just go aggressive and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to challenge this guy, often at times it's met with a combat shotgun to the face.
Timing is everything. Timing is absolutely everything. If you, like you said, if you have a player that pushes up at the wrong time, maybe that player that has the ultimate high ground is already aware of everything that's going on. Could literally have a bead on you from above. Maybe you flint knock up, maybe you redeploy, anything. You're putting yourself in a shot, in a position that basically says, please shoot me out of the air. Have this elimination. Excellent gameplay there. By the way, if you are on NA East, we are in the last 3.5 minutes of queue time. Get the games in, or that's a big misstep. Why would you not? Just do it.
I mean, especially if you have extra games, just hop in and go for those elimination games or throwaway games, as sometimes we're
If it's your last one, though, definitely play it all the way out for placement.
Yeah.
So important.
Absolutely.
To pick up extra points there. See the mark for the circle. I mentioned that earlier. Very kind of cool that we can see that from this view. Karoo from the Twitter gang, or I'm not sure.
I think that just means he's Karoo on Twitter.
I just love all the different prefixes and stuff people put in their names. The smiley faces at the end is goated. Spams L2.
I will not lose.
Love it. Love
a billion of them. Picks up air cool there in the crossfire. Now he knows someone else is close. Luxier as well going to get picked up. And someone's going to send Stinks RPGs the likes over Karoo's way. But look at all this free loot. I believe that is a Chug Jug as well. I mean, I feel like if you're going to go ahead and dedicate the 10 seconds for the Meg, just take the extra 5.
Chug. Why are you not using the Chug?
Listen,
why are you not using the Chug, bro?
It's, you know, maybe he's just feeling a little bit of pressure here from things around him. Remember, we have more, I guess, like, insight on this just because we can see more. We have more information than Karoo does in this game. So
I feel like he's got to have the audio cues to know that no one is around him, or at least no one's going to pressure. The only thought could be, is there someone maybe 1-2 layers up with a heavy snipe, someone that can drop into this box and apply pressure when I'm not really expecting it. Yeah. But he was already at such high HP and shield. Look, he's even standing still right now. This is just so you know at home. Look at that. That wasn't even a spectate issue. That was literally he sat there and did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you might as well have just taken the Chug. And just leave it behind. You know, listen, it's okay.
Leaving it behind now makes sense.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a chance to use that, but not using the Chug in that moment feels like a misplay. It's all right, though. Hopefully,
very well
figure this out.
Could come back to bite him, but look, if he gets a siphon, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know? That might be what he's banking on. It's like, look, let's just go for the siphon.
He knows. He read the script, right? He knows that this is about to be an elim for him. Joke, by the way, internet, Reddit, please. There's no actual script. Kidding. 30 players left. We'll get a top 25 soon. Karoo just rotating around inside this baller, not putting too much pressure on anybody. You don't want to make yourself a target and make anybody frustrated. You break their builds, that kind of thing. You know they're going to lash back. Kaleber in the feed, pick it up. Elim on Tandy. Players in the ultimate high ground stills. Karoo's rotating this ball. He's not the only one, though, as you see a swarm of ballers in front.
Right here on the edge of top 25, and this is what we're going to see, right? Everyone's slowing down their game. Justin, unfortunately, going to be edged out right there at the end. And this is probably when you wanted to, this is the least optimal time to be eliminated, right? Right on the edge of top 25.
It's heartbreaking because you wasted 20 minutes getting to top 26, and then you get popped. Whoever you see in the feed next, oh, there it is. I believe it was Swifty Slides goes down. Very sad.
Yeah, if you jump into a game and you're eliminated like 86, maybe you pick one elim or two, you're like, you know what? no big
Not
deal.
bad.
I hopped in.
Good use of time.
Yeah, but if you hop in like that and you get eliminated, it's rough.
Right now, not the best. I guess the last game, too, not a huge deal because you know that we're going to get another one in. But this is a lot of players. Styles on Gek all the way to the bottom of your screen, falling outside of the zone. Probably going to go down 2 storm damage on your screen. Were the point schemes, how to get points, placement, and eliminations. Very important. Percently, 0 elims, 101 builds. 17 left, looking all the way up top. Pushing his way back up. Player inside. A lot of baller play in here. You got to remember, too, they feel like if you mess with one baller, you're going to get the whole swarm. So you got to be careful because there's going to be a lot of people flying around you. Gal all the way to the top. Zakep, NA East out of time for queuing. Bugabot dropping in as well. Sebi goes down. Animal pick up that elimination.
You know, I feel like at this point, because there's so many ballers rolling around, like you just gotta crack them. Yeah, there goes one.
Speaking of, Animal forced out of the ball, are gonna have to build up and tarp out at the level here, which is kind of tough because there's nothing else connecting what he's built in on, unless somebody connected from above, which they may have. We'll see here. Good chance to farm up a little bit of tree. Some wood there. He's only at 331. Might as well pick up as much as he can. Move forward and build out towards the front of the safe zone, boxing up and looking back inside for an opportunity to take shots. Awareness here extremely important. As a player in a potential top 10 of the board situation, you want to look for every chance you have to pick up even just 1 elim. Even a tag on a player that may go down to the storm, because that will count as a point too. You have that 60-second window. Recent patch changes, changing the way that players are playing. Shots through the window, big hit there, finds Briggs, an elimination. 8 remaining. That's the second one for Animal.
He finds himself a combat as well. Now, he did not pick it up. I don't think he realized. Unfortunately, he's going to be caught off guard there a little. Unfortunately, when you happen to, in those situations, you're trying to rapidly pick up loot, you're just going to drop a few things that you don't mean to, and that's kind of what we saw, unfortunately. But look at all the spread of people here, Lupo. Everyone's, like, Percently's basically in the stratosphere right now. Just now deciding, let me rejoin everyone down below, playing Fortnite, Mooncakes, gets picked up in the crossfire. Now it's only top 5.
Let me join everyone playing Fortnite down below. I'm playing a different game up in the sky. Percently and Jen now on the ultimate high. Tendons in the mid, and one player, I believe, floating in right now. It's Crazy Ken dropping in. If Percently doesn't look up very soon, it's going to be scary immediately. Nope, Crazy Ken going to go down to the storm. Tendons in the ultimate low. Percently has the HP advantage, and it does pay off big as the storm takes Tendons out. And that's a victory royale, a 1 elimination victory royale. 11 points is still big.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Because like in games like that where you have the 1 elimination and the 10 points from the victory royale, it's kind of like, you know, you could have gone for more, but it's 11 points.
11. Look at it this way: 1 elimination and 26th. That's 1. 1 elimination and a win. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Still got the victory royale. It all adds up. Meanwhile, Symphony, a name we've seen maybe once or twice. Wink. Very well-known player here. 40 remaining. Good to see everybody making an opportunity to sneak their way out onto the main stage here in NA East. If you're just tuning in, we're coming up towards the end of these NA East games. The last week for solo qualifiers, week 9 here. It's been 5 of them total. So if players do not qualify solo today, they do not qualify solo at all for New York City.
That's right, man. Only 1 week of duo competition as well. It's crazy that
it's the last minute. That's why I think these are the highest tension games, and that's why I think players are putting on an excellent performance. Shots here, the infantry rifle. Oh my gosh! Nylon
is bad aim.
Beamed out of midair. Symphony showing that he does have the good aim. That good that you want.
You know, man, this is such a great point, though, in that, like, because this is coming down to the final few games, right? This final 10, either 10 games or 3-hour window to play in, you're just going to see people play very different, right? Like, maybe someone's more aggressive, but you're trying to say, look, I need to play for placements. I got to at least hit top 25. Then I go for eliminations, right, to maximize my time. Maybe someone plays very, very defensively, so much so that we saw, like, last game, they only got the 1 elim, but still the 11 points, it's huge.
Yep.
But if you only get 1 elimination, you're eliminated, like, top 25, it's only 4 points, and that's where, again, we talk a lot about, you know, time management, game management, knowing when to be aggressive, when not. it all comes into play.
You have to realize, too, I've seen a little bit of this on Twitter from a number of different personalities in the Fortnite community. People are talking about how once the 20th and the 21st goes by, once the 10th week of competition is of decompression. If you have to realize that 2.5 months straight